Greetings YouTube, Simon here, and the official Twitter account for Final Fantasy VII has just teased us with a brand new concept art, this one of Sector 8 in Midgar, and as you can see it is hugely detailed, there's a lot going on here, and as with all the other concept art, continues to get me excited for the final game. Now, just before we go over some of the things I've noticed here in this image, we can of course compare it to one of the in-game screenshots that's also been shared by the Final Fantasy VII Remake Twitter account. This is taken, I believe, from one of the trailers that came out of E3 this year. At least, that's what it looks like to me. And first thing I notice, and something I do notice with all of these concept art reveals, is that the in-game screenshots do seem to have a lot less detail in them than the concept arts themselves. Although in this case, that could simply be because it appears that the in-game screenshot is taken from a much more zoomed-in ground level, as opposed to the concept art, which is a much more panoramic view, and so has a lot more going on inside because of that. So hopefully, the in-game screenshot would also have looked like that had they panned the camera out. Anyway, don't get me wrong, the in-game screenshot looks stunning as well. Now, one of the things, of course, about Sector 8 is that in the original game, it is, I believe, the only sector in Midgar that you can actually explore above the plate. Now, you might notice that it's looking quite cloudy out here. I'm not actually sure if that's clouds or pollution. I'm guessing it's the latter, based on the fact that it's coming right down over the buildings there, and also, if we look at the original Sector 8 and the original Final Fantasy VII, you can see for a few seconds that it is also cloudy, but it seems to be coming from these chimney tops here, as opposed to, actually anything that's just happening in the sky. So nice to see that those details are, of course, being captured in the remake, and I do think that attention to detail has been a huge thing by Square in terms of the remake here. There's clearly a labour of love going on in order to honour and respect the original game, and we're just seeing that in so many areas. Back here we can see the fountain of Sector 8. Now, of course, the fountain is quite the centrepiece of the original Final Fantasy VII. If I just skip through my walkthrough video here that I did a few years ago. There it is, look. So the fountain here has all these people running around. This is after the avalanche attack on the Mako reactor. So everybody's in a bit of a panic here. And you can see the archway as well. So, like I said, the attention to detail with the remake is something quite stunning, it's got to be said. I also like the way they've captured the overhead cables. That is something that just adds to the nostalgia effect, because you can see they had the overhead cables in the original as well, flashing with electricity and stuff. Weren't really functioning correctly, probably because the Mako reactor has just gone down. Something else as well that I noticed, but this was more to do with the in-game screenshot, is just at the back there, you can see the flower girl herself, Aerith Gainsborough, just standing, waiting for her fated meeting with Cloud. So presumably this takes place very early in the adventure, just after the destruction of that reactor, and Cloud is on his way to rendezvous with the others on the train, no doubt, assuming they're going to be following the same plot devices in the as the original game did, even though they're going to be expanded upon. And we know what happens here as well, don't we? Cloud meets Aerith, and the ghostly apparitions, what are they called? I know they've got an official name now, it slipped my mind, but they start to appear, and there's lots of theories as to what they may be, but with Sephiroth clones I think being the #1 choice at the moment. So you can also see the fact that Loveless, which is the show that's put on by the Genesis fan club, I think, is in full swing right now. It's being advertised all over the place. I'm not sure where the theatre is in relation to this particular screenshot. It might be where the camera is, to tell you the truth. Yes, it might just be behind us, because we've got the fountain up there. So I believe, yeah, I think the theatre's over here on the screenshot. So I believe that the camera's kind of turned around. Possibly where Aerith is right there. As if, I know this is concept art, but if there was a camera that took this, I think that's where it would have been. But it's great to see how Midgar is really being expanded upon. And the more I see these concept arts, the more I'm fully on board now, I think, with the fact that the game is being split up as it is. because having a whole game dedicated to Midgar is actually something I'm very much looking forward to now. Being able to explore the city as a full adventure is clearly something we weren't able to do in the original game, and so it's going to be great to have that opportunity with the remake. Speaking of Loveless, by the way, I wonder if we'll actually get the opportunity in the remake to watch the show, or maybe see parts of it. That'd be pretty exciting, and something they could certainly do, perhaps a nice little touch since it is a remake. What else? We've got some other shops going on, a bit of nightlife that people are experiencing. We've got Capitol over here. I wonder if that's a theatre. No, that can't be the theatre, can it? That looks a lot different to what we're seeing in the screenshot here. That looks like the theatre to me. That might just be something else, maybe a mini theatre of some kind. Anyway, it's like where I'm from, Capitol means like a theatre of some kind. Anyway, we've got the drugstore over here. Need a place to stock up on your potions after all, and your Phoenix Downs. Make sure you get an extra one for the end of, well, I'd say the end of disc 1, but we don't know what disc it's going to be, do we, for the remake. Chop Suey, lots of restaurants. Wheel Restaurant, Diner over here. Wonder how many people can actually afford to purchase a sit-down meal. Seems to be a lot of competition for them, though. Anyway, folks, personally, I think this looks fantastic. Gets me very excited to actually play the game. I can't wait to explore Midgar, but if there's anything I've missed, anything else you've noticed in this particular concept art, please do share in the comments below. As always, massive thank you to all those who support me as a Patreon and YouTube member, and a massive thank you as well to everybody who subscribes to my channel. But that's it for me for today, guys. I've got another video in the works talking about one of the most powerful materials from the original game, so keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.